And welcome back for this afternoon's program of the Intermediate I CDI1 star, sponsored by EBM Insurance and Risk. Welcome to our judges who are at E, Thomas Kessler from Germany, at C, Maria Schwennesen from Australia, and at M, Francis Verbeek from the Netherlands. And our first competitor is Celeste de Mesdros from New South Wales, riding SF Austin. Austin is a gelding. He is by Anamore. He is actually bred by Celeste, but owned now by Armani Macaj.
So we welcome you back at home to the live streaming here at the beautiful Foresight Dressage by the Sea 2025. We've got an exciting afternoon for your viewing, and the first horse is now in the arena, SF Austin, and you're watching the Intermediate I CDI 1-star class. So shoulder in on the centre line up to X. We have an 8-metre circle or an 8-metre volte. Half pass X to M.
With a halt here at C and a rein back, 4 steps. Then forwards into half pass H to X. So it's sort of the reverse. Well, it is the reverse, actually, of the pattern, but not in such a symmetrical way. Half pass, 8-metre volte, and shoulder in left, going away from the judges. And
track right.
And
short diagonal of medium trot. KR, and then it's immediately into the walk.
Medium trot, collected walk.
It's quite a difficult transition. You don't actually have the collected trot first. No walk pirouettes in this test, like in the Pre-St. George. Walking.
And a sharp turn at H back towards B.
Immediately into extended walk, BP.
SF Austin is cooperating nicely in this test. So far she's done it smoothly. No disturbances.
Straight away onto the centre line. Counter change of hand. Unlike the other higher level test, it's not the number of steps, it's actually the metres on the side. We actually don't have a copy of the test in front of us, so we've done this completely from memory, which I think is, I mean, it hasn't changed for a number of years. So.
No, but it's been a little while since we've either ridden or judged an Intermediate one. 3 times 5 threes is what we're looking for.
She's achieved those. This is actually probably my preference of a test to ride over the Prix St George. I think it has a good flow to it, and the lines of changes are broken up, so that can help some horses.
So the pirouette, it's a full pirouette, so it's meant to be at I, so on the centre line. So she's, if you like, a little after. Then a change towards B, then the change of direction and the pirouette at L.
Ideally, you want to see the hind legs as close as possible to that marker there on the centre line at L.
Then a change again towards K.
In Jill's favourite spot,
yes.
On the straight, before the mark.
With your nose pointing at the marker. The horse's nose pointing at the marker. Now the twos, which we think there should be 7, we've decided. We've rewritten the test. If not, pretty certain there's 7 twos.
She agrees with us.
Trot transition at C probably could have been a little bit more uphill. And that's introducing the horse to doing canter trot transition at the end of the test, which is what appears in Grand Prix. This can be a trap for the horse saying, oh no, I'm collecting, I should probably walk. So she did that. In that sense, she did that quite well. And finishing with a halt at X. So she's very happy. That's lovely.
And we have a score trending around the 66.4, 66.5%, but we will wait for confirmation of the final score for you at home.
So our next competitor in the Intermediate I CDI 1-star class is Katina Smith, riding BC Chili Pepper. Chili Pepper is a gelding by Chameur, and it was bred and is ridden and owned by Katina Smith. So we hope at home you've all got your head now around the pattern, the actual test, and my fellow compere here will take us through some of the more technical aspects of the test, and I will probably add some useful tidbits. Love useful tidbits. So shoulder in on the centre line, and because it's coming straight towards the C judge, I'm going to say it was a little bit wide. So it's meant to be 3 tracks or 3.5 tracks, and I would feel that was 4, but only really the C judge has that absolute beeline on it. So your next comment would be a bit more suppleness through the rib cage, a little bit more lateral submission.
So we're talking about 4 maximum marks, so it's not a criticism. It's just saying that if Katina would like to get a 10, these are the requirements of the movement.
Oh, dear. Yeah, so all the marks, ideally, in your mind when you're judging, you start at 10 and you see if it's a 10, and then you have to take off points to get to what you think it really is.
So that one there was more 3-track.
Yeah, and it probably had more of the softness that I was looking through its ribs. So in my book, that one scores better. So then you have the other parts to it. Apart from the general technicality of the movement, you have the frame and the outline to pay attention to how it works through its body, what the rider's doing, the effect into the aids, whether the aids are ugly. So they all come into that consideration, and that's why there aren't that many 10s. End of story. And 10, remember, only means excellent. Doesn't mean perfect.
This horse we've seen probably through a lot of its career, and it just does seem to get better and better. He's trending on about 67.9% currently.
Yep, he's an athletic creature. Every so often he hollows away from her and comes too high in the neck. So there is some tightness in his back, and if you see it, you have to comment on it or reflect upon it in your mark.
He's definitely an energetic character, which is really what you want for the higher levels. A horse that's got a lot of energy, because those Grand Prix tests require a lot of energy and power and strength that comes with time. Developing the horse in the right way. And that's what these tests are for. The judges are helping the riders let them know if they're on the right track.
And if they're ready to move up to another level. And if they're not, the scores will reflect that. So I suspect this horse is a little worried by what's going on in the trees or something over on our open side of the arena. That seems to be the tense spot. But
they are sort of glistening and rustling in the... There's a slight breeze here, so they do catch the light at this time of the day, and there's a little bit of a shimmer on the leaves. Ultimately, the horse has to be completely on the rider's aid, so it's not paying attention to something that's happening outside the arena, but we know that is sometimes quite difficult to keep their attention on us. They are beautiful magnolia trees on the side of the arena here, and the gardens are spectacular.
They really are looking gorgeous after all the rain that we've had and development. And we can see that Chili Pepper is a little concerned with the clapping, so despite the ear bonnet on, he's hearing quite a lot of things. But this is the practice that he needs if he's going to develop to a Grand Prix horse. And now, I think now he's looking at himself in the in the big screen, and perhaps he's admiring that.
Probably
Yes.
not so keen on himself.
All right, so we're going. Give him a score. In a minute. We have a score for our first competitor, Celeste Mesdros and SF Austin, of 66.569%. And now a score for Katina Smith, riding BC Chili Pepper, with a score of 64.461%. And now our third competitor is entered the area, and we welcome Lizzie Wilson Fellows from New South Wales, riding Let's Charmeur. Let's Charmeur is a mare by Charmeur. Bred, I think, by Lizzie, actually, and also owned and ridden by Lizzie Wilson Fellows.
One of those interesting scenarios where we've had two horses follow each other, both by the same stallion, Charmeur. Obviously a popular stallion.
So shoulder in, so a little bit slow to get into it. Now she's into it. So at the beginning I was thinking, oh, not enough. Now then she got it. So that's why it's on the centre line, because it's demonstrating control. Half past weight, right. Just need a little bit more trot, impulsion in the trot. Is he having to ask a couple of times for the rein back, but ultimately quite a nice rein back. Here again, a little bit tight in its ability to go sidewards. There you can see, if you're on the centre line, oh, you can't see that. That's a shame. But for me, I'm seeing the 3 to 3.5 tracks well displayed. You've got a different picture at home.
Got the same one now.
Right. There's a few cameras, and so I just keep looking straight ahead. But every so often I look at this, what you're seeing, and then I realise that you don't know what I'm seeing because you're seeing something else. I'm sorry for that. Walk.
Immediately turning and then into extended walk.
We had a good crowd here at lunchtime enjoying the VIP, and many of them thankfully have stayed. Nicely direct into canter. So quite a long time making the change on the straight line, which is a very good way to ensure that the change is correct. Well placed, well performed in a nice manner. 5 threes. No problem giving those 7 or more. This is the canter pirouette over I. Again, nice bending.
And good position over.
Good position. A little bit late with the change, not the change, but in the position. And that one, not as much bending, a little bit against her outside aids.
So a good test. Lizzie Wilson Fellows and Let's Chamor. And so we have a mark for Lizzie Wilson Fellows and Let Chamor of 62.794% and currently third position. Remembering our leader is Celeste de Mesdros on SF Austin on 66.569. Circling the arena, we welcome a Victorian visitor, Bianca Joyce, riding Desire SP. Desire SP is a gelding by Desperados and is owned by Bianca Joyce.
So desire SP having to do the nose blowing at the start of the extended trot and pulling down. Unfortunate. Sometimes nose blowing comes out of tension. And sometimes they actually need to blow their nose. And swinging the quarters on the circle. I think I might have commented on that yesterday. A little bit more control of the outside of the horse on the circle. Needed, is what I'm saying. Again, having to ask a couple of times for the rein back. And the quarters swinging through that corner. Something I'd love to take home is, and for everyone to take home is, we haven't seen a lot of corners well ridden or made use of. We've seen a lot of straight horses or quarters swinging out or just bent the wrong way. Not just in this test, in many of the tests. Nice over track and freedom in the extended walk.
And that extended walk goes all the way to P and then directly into canter at P.
I think there is a just before P collect the walk.
Yeah, there is.
Something like that. But yeah, you don't want to cut it short because it's not a very big extended walk anyway. Time-wise or space-wise. So here again, just a bit more balance and placement of the half passes needed. And a more uphill tendency and self-carriage.
That looked like a little bit stock horsey.
A little bit early as well. Doing those comfortably. Needs to collect and sit. So all of the canter work gives the impression for me of just being hurried. And when you say hurried, really what you mean is it's not spending enough time on its hind legs, so it looks quick in front. But not as quick behind. A score for Bianca Joyce and Desire SP of 56.666%, placing her currently 4th. Our next competitor is Gabrielle Tyndale from New South Wales, riding Cuvelle, a gelding by Quarter Hall and owned by Gabrielle Tyndale.
So I have to say that Gabrielle has done a good job getting Cuvelle into the arena. And, Gabrielle fairly new at this level, and that is when the horse doesn't really want to go in because it's got stage fright, but good on her.
Absolutely. We were doing a lot of clicking in
and
here.
And we really wanted her to come in. And so here she is, probably turned on the accelerator to say, hey. She's got a little bit of adrenaline going, I'd say.
I'd say so.
He was a little bit cheeky going around the outside and he didn't want to come past a few things. You didn't see that, I don't think. But she did a great job and really stuck to her guns and just waited for him quietly and then came in. Once he's in here, he feels okay. He feels safe, I suppose.
Safe inside the white boards. Okay, the volte was a little bit small. So kind of relieve yourself, that's good. She just had a big deep breath there. And now trying to just ride him as if he's being the best horse in the world. You've got to be your aim.
He's a very elegant horse.
Yes. Yep, the circle was too small the first time. He said, don't want to go there. That's it. So there, again, you've got a different view from me, but a little bit too wide in the shoulder and down the centre line.
And when he does get it right, he does make quite a nice shape.
Yeah, nice type of horse.
And sometimes it is just about, getting their confidence and putting them in the ring and hoping that he's doing a really good job. I think Cuvelle's got a few extra riders on him. I'm one of them, wishing him the best.
has a nice way of covering the ground in the half pass. Still hiding a little bit in the bridle. And then that's good because he's opened up a little bit more in front. She needs to try to encourage that nose more forward throughout the test.
Well done, Gabrielle. I did the right counting. Did you do the counting?
No, I was leaving it entirely to you.
Great. This needs to maintain the quality of the canter in the canter pirouette.
So he tends to take over.
What happened?
She heard the bell ring, and so did I. I think that's a... Oh.
I know. Should I do it again?
Wait, we've got a little... Yeah. I heard the bell ring, but
I think...
somebody knocked the bell. Is that
Really?
right? Or... No,
Poor
no.
Gabrielle.
There's obviously consternation. I can't understand who's saying what because it...
Did she do threes on the 2 line? That's what because I
yes,
saw her. I saw her shake her head at the end of that, and I thought I was counting threes, and I was like, I think that was meant to be 2s,
yes.
and because she's done the whole line doing 3s, he said, go and rewrite it doing 2s, and counted it as a course error.
Yes, and everyone's
He's not knowing.
missed it badly except for him. Oh dear.
I saw it, but I was
saw it.
like, and I saw her shake her head. So here we go. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7. She did 3s on that line previously.
No, she did. And of course, probably everyone who was home going, she's doing 3s.
Yeah. And I saw it, and I saw her shake her head, and I wanted to comment, don't make it so obvious when you made a mistake, and not many of...
No one's picked it up. Oh, now what? Now she's forgotten to trot at C,
Yeah.
so that's it. Oh, that's a shame for her.
So that's the second...
Yeah, that's the
error
second
she's
error,
out.
and now the horse is going to get upset.
But good, Gabrielle, I think you've done a wonderful job.
Yeah, lovely smile.
he just needs to get coming, and I'm sure you've got a really good horse, and keep going.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they're going to let her finish the test. That's as correct because she might as well as only this diagonal and the halt.
It's not easy when you're new. You've got a very exuberant, elastic, I call him, he's a bit extra, this horse. And so getting everything to come together right on the day is quite difficult. And you can see that the crowd really appreciate that she gave it a good go. Congratulations, Gabrielle. You gave it a really good go, and all I can say is keep going. It's a good horse. we have two different names on our sheets, so that's just excuse us. We're just trying to work out. I have Amanda McPherson on Friedenstar from, we think she's from New Zealand.
Hence, we had a little moment and haven't announced her, so that's bad. We'll do it at the end.
So a big, powerful style of horse. And I think I can see her jacket now, so I'm pretty willing to say that she is from New Zealand, even though the information in front of us isn't consistent. Showing the shoulder in on the centre line, going away from us. And how are we going with the technical side of things?
We are going along. She's on a steady sort of 63, which means she's scoring 6.5 for most things, the odd 7 and the odd 6. It's a horse that just like it to be more laterally supple. Goes in a good way, carries itself quite well, but it's just a little bit, and it is it's a very round type of horse, so it's a little harder to look as supple sideways. Powerful. Want a bit more uphill. And just a little bit too many collecting strides before the change. So again, we're looking for a crisp transition and then the change. 3 times changes. Some issues behind on the first couple. Getting ready for the pirouettes here, so collecting and sitting. More control of the turning around. The inside hind leg is what's needed. He does sit, he comes engaged, and then he's on that first one. This one, now he's got too big. And then again, late behind in the change. Yeah, and like what we say, you end up saying many mistakes in the twos. And now not finding the trot at C. And that was Amanda McPherson riding Freedenstar. Freedenstar being a gelding by Feedertance, owned by Amanda McPherson. And I think Amanda has come from New Zealand. Is that correct, Amanda? Yes, fantastic. Thank you, Amanda, for making the effort to come. And we do have some New Zealand news that some people might appreciate knowing. There has been the passing of one of New Zealand's top dressage riders, known as Penny Castle, or married as Penny Pearce. She's been a mentor in New Zealand for many top riders, and we're very sad to have to pass on that news. She came to Australia many times, as recently as 2015 or 16, riding a horse called Magnus Sparrow to great success. So sad to pass that news on regarding Penny Pearce from New Zealand. And so we have a short break until 4:48. Tea break, shall we call it, or a coffee break? Might be an ice cream break. And return, please, at 4:48. Leaving us with the results currently as in front. In first place is Celeste Mesdros on SF Austin, the first horse out in the class, with a lovely score of 66.569. In second, Katina Smith on BC Chili Pepper on 64.461. In third, Lizzie Wilson Fellows, Let Charmeur on 62.794. And in fourth, our New Zealand rider, riding Freedenstar with a score of 58.088. And in fifth place, Bianca Joyce and Desire SP on 56.666%.